Hey everybody, welcome back to the Let's Play. So at the end of the last episode, I had mentioned that I would like to get into combat and doing exploration and a whole bunch of other things like that, using a lot of these components to build a bunch of fun units. And while I'd like to do that, I ran into a problem. So I started building all of this foundation over here, and I've started to expand into a few modules as well that we're going to need. And what you can see is these storage blocks here, they have an order which is stale, right? And essentially what that means is it's not being serviced right now for quite some time. And when we look in the order list, we can see that it says there's no carriers assigned to serve the order. Well, that makes sense. Our carriers right now are building stuff here. They're moving things over into our foundation and building foundation. And so, one thing that's clear is, well, we need more carriers. And I can definitely do that, but that's not going to be sufficient. The reason it won't be sufficient is because what happens is our carriers are doing all of our work, right? These runners are over here and they need to be the one building this. They also need to be over here, managing all of the resources moving in between our production chains. They also need to be moving all of our stuff up here, and they're managing this here. As a result, they're actually wandering all over the place, and that's contributing to our problems. So, what can we do about that? Well, we unlocked last session beacons. And these beacons have an item transporter built into it. An item transporter in Desynced is almost like a conveyor belt inside of conveyor-based games. There's a few differences. The first is that the item transporter can move anything. So a conveyor belt will block if it has a specific thing that is on it, right? Like let's say in Satisfactory, if I wanted to make metal bars, iron bars, for example, I would end up having a problem if I suddenly had something that wasn't iron ore inside of my conveyor belt. Item transporters don't have that problem. They only respond to orders, just like the runners do. So they don't have blocking problems. The other thing is that what they do is they serve a bunch of buildings around them. So if I were to say, put an item transporter, a beacon, here, and we should have we have some of the kits that we need. One of the things I built was so that I could demonstrate these. So what we'll end up seeing is that some of this, let's see if I were to move this storage block instead to over here, and we'll make this a high priority so that way it'll build quickly. What we'll end up seeing is that it will actually move the resources directly. We won't need, you can see here, they're flying across, and we don't need a runner to do it, right? So now, these two production lines, whichever two I have connected, this one and this one, are going to always get resources from here, and our runners are free to do other things. It will work with any of the 8 squares around it, and that is really cool too. That being said, there's another problem that we're going to have. This is not a great place for us to have our production lines. Over here, we have a whole bunch of metal, and we want this to be closer to this metal. So what we're going to do, instead of continuing to flesh this area out, is we're going to rebuild our production over here. And let's see here. The first thing that we need to do is we need to get a pylon, and we don't yet have a blueprint for that. So I want to go into my power folder and I want to create a blueprint from the current selection. And now I should be able, whenever I need this, just go in and grab it. So I want to, let's see here. I want these to be kind of out of the way. So let's put them here. I need to see what my production system looks like. I think it's in the overlay settings. If I switch this to everything, show logistics network. There we go. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take the pylon and I want to start building out like just up here. And then what we'll do is we'll probably put another batch down here so that we have complete coverage, and then we can just build in between them. So let's see here. Here's a good place to start. And these have a range of 8, so I can just count that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Close enough. And we also want this to be on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I actually don't need to count anymore. Now I can just do the math in my head. Okay, so our guys are going to build these out, right? And I also just want to drop some foundation in here because it will be broadly useful. What we'll do, start back here, and we'll just go all the way across. There we go. Okay, so while that is going on, we do still want to do some exploration. And the reason why is because our next tier of equipment, we need these silicon rods in order to advance. And we have the silicon rods. We can make them over here from silica sand. This is silica sand. But we don't have the silica sand, so we need to find it. So while we're waiting for all of this to be built, let's see if we can find our scout unit. And then we'll take that scout unit on a little trip. That's an engineer. Is this the scout? Oh, that's a miner. There's the scout. Scout right now is busy dropping off a bunch of... doing a lot of building for us. So we'll just let that finish. So the oh, that's really unfortunate. Let's not let it finish. We'll just we can't. I don't really want to cancel its order. We'll just let it go. That is a little annoying. Maybe in the meantime we can move some of these resources as well. Just do a little bit more cleanup. All right, and before that scout gets busy again, we're going to take the scout out exploring. So over here somewhere, there it is. There is there's an explorable. So the explorables, they come in a few different varieties. This one is your kind of basic explorable, and you don't really have to do anything to it. You can just look at it and it will open up and be fine. We got another one over here, so let's just go grab whatever we can out of that. And the other thing is, oh, there's an alien one over here. Now, this alien one, if I get close to it, you're going to see there's a bug hole right here. And these usually come with it. So if I get close enough, we'll probably see a unit come out. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I can't get into it. This bug hole often will actually have like a little monster come out of it. And so you want to be a little careful with those. But we got lucky that time and there was no bug in there. Let's see here. Ooh, there's an explorable over here. We'll go and get this one. So the silica sand, we can get it from these like tree-looking things. We can get it from these tree-looking things, or we can get it from the scattered resource piles. But you're going to notice there's not very much, right? 12 silica sand in one of these. There's 2 inside of one of these piles. That's not going to be enough for the mass manufacturing we're going to do. So what we want to do is find elevated terrain, and we'll continue circling around our base till we find it. So this is a more complex form of explorable, and the disconnected circuit is actually a mini game, which for the purposes of this, I've disabled it, because I don't feel like subjecting you to me trying to solve a mini game for a long time. I'm quite bad at the mini games. So for these, we're just skipping them. Now the other one though is repair required, and we need 1 item in order to make that work. So let's take this opportunity to come down here, grab the item that we need, and we'll also just drop our stuff unceremoniously on the ground. We'll come back and pick it up. I need one item. Awesome. So let's come back over here and grab this. I do suppose I could have just requested the item and had it delivered to me, but whatever. Ooh, data cubes. Data cubes are useful for research. So the last tier of research that we have to get to uses those data cubes. And as a result, I want the data cubes actually inside of my distribution network. Move that over there. And I don't really want this to have a power pole, so we'll just drop that off as well. In a later version of this, we can, maybe in a later episode, we can put together a little robot that runs around and sweeps for things. But for now, we won't do that. All right, so here we have metal bars that we need, and this one was, I think, metal plate. Is that right? Metal plate, yeah. Okay, so we're going to go over here. And we'll just go actually all the way back over here. One of the things that I really don't like is that it's hard for me to find my scout. So I'm going to give it a label. This is a signpost. We actually built a whole bunch of these, and I could have done it without the exploring. I forgot to pick it up. But since we found one, might as well just take it, right? That's not what I meant to do. Don't want that either. One. On the scout. And then the other thing was, is it a metal bar? I think it was a metal bar. All right, so let's take our scout out here and see what else we can find in there. Ooh, internal visibility module. That's cool. The internal invisibility module is not technology which we have access to, which is what Elaine was saying, the robot that pops up here. What this one does, though, is pretty cool. So the radar is it's able to find things, and you can see it's scanning for it every once in a while. And that's how we get those little pop-ups that are a little disconnected from us. Let's see if we can get this done. Internal health module. Ooh, that's cool. So you can see like this pop up over here, and I think there was one that was over here. Maybe I was a little wrong, but those are the radar popping up. This circle here is the internal visibility module, and you can see that if I unequip it, suddenly our fog of war is much smaller, right? There was, what was that? Oh, there's a strange signal. We'll have to figure out what that was. I'm going to go back over here real quick and drop this stuff off. I want the internal visibility module. The rest of it we can just drop off here. And I don't care for the extra health right now either. All right, so I want this thing to keep on going. And for now, we're just going to hook it up so that it'll go and explore on its own. I don't exactly know if it'll pick stuff up, though. We'll just have to watch it. So I think it'll just bug us, actually. Oh. So it explored it, but it didn't pick anything up. I don't want it to actually do that. That's actually rather annoying. Okay, so we won't do that. Instead, we'll just do this manually. Have these three things. Let's go directly inside of our network, and we'll drop them off. I think this was the other one it explored. So we'll go down and grab that, too. Cool. And this one over here. And then we're going to go back up in here and we're going to start making our manufacturing, having done a little bit of exploring. Now we have energy production. Just logistics network surrounding this robot. All right. Actually, I wonder if I left it in the logistics network, if it would take things out. It might. Who knows? That's another thing that we can do later. All right, so we'll return the scout to the logistics network. It'll just keep serving its purpose there. And I no longer want all of these showing up. Okay. So in this area, we are going to want to put together our logistics system, right? So what we want to do for this, I actually have some notes on what it is that I would like to build. I did some experimenting just to make sure that I'm going to get this right. Okay, so the first one that we want to do is going to be metal bar production. And that's going to be very straightforward. The metal bar production, first of all, we're not going to need very much of it, but it's going to serve as a template that we can use to rapidly build the others. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the metal bar production here. And I'm going to build this manually so that I can put together these others. And then what we can do is make blueprints using them, which would be really cool. All right, so the first thing is these are they're two small buildings. And there's an interesting piece about it, which is that we only have 2 inventory slots on this building, right? As a result of that, we have to make sure that these fabricators, or whatever we put on it, only ever requires 2 items. And as a result, we can't use it to make 2 different materials, right? The metal bar requires iron ore and it outputs metal bars. The metal plate takes the metal bars and it outputs metal plate. That's 3 different slots. We only have 2. It'll block. So the main thing that we need to be careful of is that we don't screw this up, right? So we're going to do that, and then we're going to copy it and paste it. And the other thing that we want is a beacon. We're going to put that right in the middle there. And then last but not least, we want to have storage blocks that go in and out. So, oh, I canceled the construction of that. So we're going to have a storage block going in. And this storage block we're going to give shared storage to. And we also want to lock it. We want to lock all of the slots to a specific kind of item, metal ore. Now, the shared storage is something, again, that we unlocked last time. And what it does is it says, any slot in here that's locked, if you have excess resources, go ahead and put it inside of those slots. We're cool with that. And then we want another storage on the other side. Now, one of the things that's notable here, and you can already start to see it, is, or you should be able to see it soon, what we'll find is that we're going to have runners going back and forth here, delivering material to these metal bars, to these metal bar productions. Here they come, right? Boom. They're starting to put it in there. And we don't want that. What we want to do is we want to create a system where all of these buildings, they act as one building. And so that way, all the material comes into one place that we can focus on, and it goes out from one place we can focus on. The main reason we want that is because if we look over here, we've kind of been doing this on our own, where we have the storage block that's holding this stuff, and we have these that are all, when we have a production unit, and we have the miners, and we're all focusing them on a specific building. And then we have these, and we're all focusing in them on a specific building, right? And the same thing's true of this one. And essentially what ends up happening is we can make sure that we know how things are moving through our base if we understand how these things are doing it, right? The other part is we can have these runners deliver a lot of resources to our storage block. And as a result, when they go and deliver stuff, especially if we start using something that's more like a scout right? With 4 inventory slots, we could have a scout pick up all 4 inventory slots, drop all of those off, and now we're doing a lot less work. So in order to make that happen, though, we need to make sure that these buildings are properly isolated. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that the beacon and these 2 buildings, oh, there we go, and we're going to adjust their network settings so that it's only item transporters can deliver and take things from these, right? The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to put them on a different channel. So that way, they won't get these resources from just anywhere. They'll only get them from things within the same channel. This storage block, we also want to move onto its own channel. And this storage block, we actually want to turn off completely. And I'll get to why. We're going to do something really special with this one later. What we're going to end up doing is we're going to take its resources and we're going to deliver it to where we want it to go. So the other thing that we are going to want to do, let's see here. We took this one offline. Oh, we still want this inside of channel. We still want this one in channel 4, actually. And we want this one to be able to request items. Okay, we don't want this one to supply items. We only want it to be able to request them. And I think what this will be able to do... Oh, and then we want its store register to point at these. So that way, whenever it has resources, it will deliver them to these specific buildings. And we can also lock these building slots. So that way, we don't have a situation where this has no bricks in it and suddenly it needs to go somewhere else. And then we'll take the... we'll take the store registers on these ones and we'll move them over here. And so now we have a situation where this is going to supply... it should be supplying both. Supply both buildings. There we go. This should be now supplying both of these buildings, and these buildings will then consolidate here. And actually, as a result of this, we probably don't need... Well, these need to be on logistics networks, but I don't think we need these on a logistics network. We really don't want it to have both going at once. So it's either we're using a logistics network or we're not using a logistics network. Let's not. Let's see how that works out. If I get one of my runners to just move some resources, let's see if we can do this. Well, now they're all going really quite intense building stuff, so that's not going to work. I also want these, our 2 most... We have a bunch of units that I was using to dig out specific stuff. Now they're not doing anything at all. No. Mine. That. And there's one up here doing the same thing. Just not doing anything whatsoever. Mine it. And for some... I am not going to be... This is going to be very difficult. Let's just get this. Oh, that's reserved already. Okay, well, we'll do this a slightly different way. This is on... What's this? Network 4? Yeah, this is on channel 4. So we'll just get this guy, and we'll just put him on channel 4. And we'll move them over there. And I also want it to be able to supply items. Because if I don't have it supplying items, it will not... Nothing will happen. And let's get a runner as well, and we'll move that runner to 4. So that way the runner will move these stuff over, and then we'll be able to see it magically working. That runner decided it was going to completely ignore its orders. Oh. It's not completely ignoring its orders. It's doing exactly what I told it to do. Let's make it so that this has a recurring request for metal ore. 60? I think these do 15 a second. Yeah, they use 15 a second, so that ought to work. So now that's moving in. And then from there, this should be moving them to that. But I guess not. All right, so we need it in this. We do need a supply network happening. And if that's the case, we actually don't need this to have explicit stuff. And in fact, if we take we put a shared storage on this, which this runner should be able to satisfy. Oh, we need our shared storage modules to be on the right network. So let's quickly do this. We will build you with shared storage. Okay, boom. And we need to switch the supply network. So we want this actually to serve on every channel. That's going to be our goal right there. So that way, whenever we have a supply module, it doesn't matter who's asking for it. It'll always get it. And for good measure, I'm going to do the same thing with the beacons. And I'm going to do the same thing with our construction units. We're going to have you store stuff there. So hopefully get that to move. We're going to make this better eventually as well, but we're not going to do it this episode. There we go. And now we should have a line that goes from there all the way over there so that this can get its order filled. In the meantime, we have a problem. This is not working. Oh, this needs to supply. You know, that might have been the problem before. It's hard to say. In any case, so we debugged this, and now you can see all of our buildings are running. This one is on the correct network, so it's probably just not, there's probably just not enough resources there yet. We can fix that too. Let's move this guy onto, we want that to be able to supply items. We'll want that one over here so our guy isn't running as far. Let's do that with a third one just to make sure that we can keep this going at a good clip. All right, there we go. Now we can see both are working. This one's the one that's running right now, and this one's running when it gets resources. As these keep going, it'll get better and better. And we can also, since we have this now done, we can just make it so that all of our minor Mark 1s are over there. You on the right? Yeah. Let's see here. That's a minor Mark 1. That's a minor 1. We want all y'all doing that. Did I change you over? I did. Have you do that too. We're just gonna have this engineer. Is there another engineer around? Did I move the engineer over? Oh, the other engineer's up here. Okay, good. We're just gonna have this one going because we want to make sure that we're keeping this. Although we don't really need all of this production anymore. So we took 4 of those. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just take 4 of these. And we'll make it so they can no longer request items. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do, we want to get this fabricator ready to go. right? So what we can do, just so I want to make sure that this is no longer all stuck together the way I had it, because I want to be able to copy and paste these. We also want these to all be locked to that. Okay, so we have shared storage going in, we have shared storage coming out, we have these that are doing the processing. I think this is good. Okay, so the next one that we want to build is going to be the metal plates. And this one's interesting. It's a little different from the one that we just built. The reason why is because we want this one to have a ratio of 3 to 2. So what we're going to do is 1, 2. They're exactly the same building type, right? Actually, we need 3 of them, so we'll put down 3. And then the other side, we're going to have 2. Oh, I don't want this one. Get rid of you. And this one, we're going to change so that it's producing plates instead of bars. We're going to need our beacon in the middle. We're going to have our storage block, which is exactly the same. And this storage block is different. This one, we want to lock to metal plates. And this, we're then going to, this is our building that's doing metal plate construction. We're going to copy that, and we're going to, boom, just put it down right there. I'm not entirely sure what that number is there for. How did I do that? Well, whatever. This also probably ended up receiving... Yes, it has a recurring order on it. We don't want 60 on this one. We want 90. Although, it might be enough just to have 10, to be honest, or 20. So that way it always has some. Let's do that. Let's make it so it's 20. Instead of everything it needs, we'll make it so that it's just the bare minimum that it needs. We'll change this one too. Simple request, recurring request, we'll make it 20. Okay, so we can see that these are hopping all about, and these should be firing up. What did I... Oh. So this, there we go. We want to make sure, like this needs to be metal plates, because otherwise it will, it can't make anything. Has nowhere to output it to. But now we should see these, and then once these are good to go, we should see them hop over here. Once it gets to, I think, 20, we'll see it hop over. And the other part that's really cool is that we can already see that we have maxed out our iron bar production already. It did not take long to fill up. Nice and efficient. And we can scale this one too if we really need to. 16, 18, there it went. It just jumped over. Very cool. Okay. So the next one that we want to build is for reinforced plates. This one's going to be a bit different. So reinforced plates have an interesting way of being built, right? I don't need to see the milestones right now. Reinforced plates are really interesting because they have metal plates and they also need metal bars. The metal plates also require metal bars. We can go down here to the production breakdown and we can see precisely what that means. So we're going to need 2 metal bars per metal plate. We need 2 metal bars per 2 metal bars in addition to that. And each one of those is going to require ore. The thing that's notable is that we have this 2 to 3 thing going on. And what we can do is we can leverage that. So we're going to start with our metal bar production. And we need 4 of those total. I think I can just use that as is. We need 4 of those total. And then we want 1 of these. Because that means that all combined, we're going to use 3 of our metal bar production in order to power both of the fabricators here making plates. The one that's left over, let's say it's on this one. What that one will do is it will power the last, where's the thing that I need here? No, that's not going to help. What that will do is it will power the last, not the metal plates. I need reinforced plate. That'll give us those 2 extra ones that we need in order to make this reinforced plate. I'm pretty sure my math works out. It might be a little bit wonky. All right. Then we're going to put the storage block, and we're going to put the storage block over here because this pylon's going to get in the way. Want our beacon. And then we want this building. This building ends up being very expensive, actually. It's more efficient, in fact, to build 2 of these than it is to build 2 of those than it is to build 1 of these. But I want this for space reasons. So we're going to do that, and we're going to edit it, and we need, let's see here, we need fabricators on this one, or assemblers. We need assemblers. So let's put down 2 of those, and we'll have that go like that, and we need that to make reinforced plate. And I think my math works out on this one. It might be that it needs like 1 more of something, but I'm pretty sure that it works out. It might need 1 more of the metal bar producing ones in order to work. It's hard to say. This is waiting on resources. And I think... Oh. I should have copied it so I get the... Should have copied it so that it keeps the configuration. But in any case, now this is going to be moving all of those things around. It's easy to get to the storage block, which is what we want. And we'll eventually... Oh, and we want this storage block to contain reinforced plates. There we go. And we should see that that ends up being delivered eventually as well. So, there we go. Last but not least, we have one more thing that we can create, which is energized plate. Energized plate is absolutely wild because, let's see here. Energized plate needs, here we go. It needs 2 reinforced plate. And this is where the scaling costs get a bit intense. It takes a lot to build this next building. So we're going to do it just a touch differently than we did the others. Let's see here. Guess I want all of that. Let's make that square. And because I can, just square this up too. We will make our whole base just a nice little square. Oh, it looks like that's actually all in range too. That's nice. Okay, so let's see here. In order to do this last one, oh, while we wait for all of that, because we can't build on it while it's actually just sitting around. Let's turn off this, because we don't need this anymore. All of it is... You can supply, but you can't request. You can supply, but you can't request. Can't request either. We don't want you requesting anything either. You're done. Actually, wait, we probably still need this one able to request. Because we're going to need plate for all kinds of stuff. So it's good just to keep that one running. We don't have... Well, I guess we do. For some reason, that's not selected right. So we want that to be those. Okay. And then the other part is... Let's see here. I think what I can do... Well, we don't need our engineer doing this anymore, so we can actually have our engineer come over here. Channel 4 only. You can supply. Pardon my phone going off in the background. All right. We have our new area ready to go. So the last one's going to be pretty intense. We're going to start with bar production. And we need, just like the other one, we need 4 bar production. So, and this one's going to take up more space too. So we're going to have bar production. Try that one more time. Oh, that's not the right one. That's the right one. We need 2 bar production. Also, hey, Mr. Scout, don't do your thing. What did I... I need to pick that up. Also need you to pick this stuff up. This clutter's in the wrong place. Okay, we're going to put you back on the network. We're just going to drop this off here, this off here. It'll eventually get rid of the other stuff. So we need these 2 buildings like this. Then we're going to use a different building. We're going to use the medium building in order to produce the plate. All right, so we're going to put this together. We're going to have in the medium slot an assembler, and that assembler is going to be making reinforced plate. And we're going to also have a fabricator. And that fabricator is going to be making metal plate. And the thing that's interesting is the math on this one also works out pretty well. We need 2 bars for every one of these, and we need 2 of these, right? So it'll do that, and then it'll block for a moment, right? The reason the math works out, however... Oh, we also need this to have the right settings. We need you to be on channel 4, only item transporters. I think that's right. All right, so the thing is, these are going to be using all of the production of this for a short period of time. But then we're going to run into an interesting thing. And that is that the energized plate takes a very long time to make. Just want to make sure I got that right. The energized plate takes a very long time to make. It takes like 20 seconds or something like that. Yeah, 20 seconds, right? The metal plate only takes 6 seconds. And the metal bars only take 4. So these are going to be serving these briefly. But then these aren't going to need any more for a while, right? It's going to run once, it's going to run twice, and then that's it. After that, this is going to end up being idle. So these are going to continue producing metal plates. And when they do, then we are going to load those up, and they're going to be the extras that we need. So that when we get to this one, which this needs a robotics assembler, by the way. The energized plate requires a robotics assembler. So when this happens, then we're going to be able to use those 2 things in order to build it. So we need that. We need these to be on channel 4 and only item transporters. that one goes over here. And the other part is we actually need to lock these slots to a different item. It doesn't really matter which one we do, so I'm just going to do 2 of these like this. And that'll make sure that we end up having crystal chunks. We also want to make sure that we are ordering those crystal chunks. Otherwise, they will not be around when we need them. And we need to make sure that our crystal chunks know that they can serve channel 4. That's a pretty long way to be able to deliver them. Maybe if I had been thinking a bit better, I would have put this big one over on this side. Anyway, we're fine. It's fine. And then we need this to lock all slots to... Where is it? To our energized plate. And there we go. We have all of our production chains all ready to go. We definitely do not need this doing anything anymore. We can turn it off. It can supply, but it can't request. All of these are done. This one's almost empty. We're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. We'll be able to take this all offline later. Okay, so we have our 4 different production buildings making all of our stuff. We're going to let that run for a while. We can already see 2 of them are full. This one, for some reason, isn't full and it isn't running. That's not good. It wants to make reinforced plate, but it can't. I guess this is in the wrong network. Oh. No, it has shared storage. Oh, this building's on the wrong channel. There we go. Now it's going to run. This one we'll let run for a while and we'll see what happens. We want this to be energized plate. Then we're going to go back to using our scout. Hey, Mr. Scout. We're going to have you wander around. Let's see here. Where were we? Oh, we were over here. So let's start over here. Grab that. Okay, let's go back up. Try to find out where we can find some more of these resources. Wonder if an alien will come out of this one. Apparently not. Well, I guess that's good for some reason. Ooh, something's back here. What's up here? There it is. Disconnected circuit. Yay. Ooh, here we go. Over here. This is what we want to see. This is where we can find that silica. It's not here, but it should be close by. Somewhere. Oh, yeah. Here we go. So we have... Let's see here. Here's some silica sand. Here's some silica sand. There's quite a lot of it. A couple thousand here. A couple thousand there. There's probably a little bit over. Oh, that's just scattered resource. But even so, we have thousands. That's great. Oh, up here, we've got some more thousands. And we have a power flower, which is going to do some random thing. Ooh, look at that one up there. 10,000. Yeah. Okay, cool. We found what we need. So let's go back down here to our base. Awesome. All right, so this, we basically just can follow, I think, straight down. Yeah, like straight down to about here. Let's put it like here. What I want to do is I want to build out just a long line of foundation first. I have no idea what that runner's doing. Okay. And then we can go to our pylon and let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3. We don't really know where our power ends. I want to stop this where our power ends. So let's see here. If I do overlay, show my logistics network. The pylon. Let's see here. I guess here is where I want it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mr. Scout, you're being conscripted. You're no longer doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So one of the things that's notable is you can't build things where you can't see. Can't build here. So the scout I need to bring with me. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because if I don't, then the scout will, then I will not be able to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that would disappoint everybody. 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, look at that. That worked out just right. Okay, so they're going to go off and they're going to do that. In the meantime, I'm going to put you back my logistics network. I'm also going to need a road. So let's, I keep clicking on the wrong thing. I'm also going to need a road. The foundation, when you build foundation, your units move faster on it. That's what we want. We want a nice chonky road going up as far as we can make it go. And hopefully, by building it after I built this other one, they won't fill this in until this is built. I can make that high priority. I should make these all high priority, actually. That way they go to it first. Okay, how are we doing over here? We have blockages. That's actually a good reason to have a blocked order. Let's see here. But these, probably, oh, they're on the right network. Is this on the right network? That's also on the right network. Is this on the right network? Yes, that's also on the right network. What's going on here? There's no crystals coming in. Oh no. Well, let's solve that using a different tool. So I'm going to have, let's see here. Can I solve it using a different tool? I don't think I can. Oh, it's because my runner is up here. All of this construction uses any class of runner. So they're just going to continue doing what they do until such time as it's all built. That's funky. It'll be all right. They should go back to working the way that we want them to in a moment. That is really disappointing, though. I still have problems if I do lots of construction. Oh, but you know what I can do? Is this my guy? What network are you on? You're on channel 4. You can't serve construction. Stop serving construction. Can you serve construction? Are you on channel 4? No, you're not. Well, you're on channel 4 now. No more construction for you. How about you? Are you on channel 4? No. We'll keep you off of channel 4. We have 2 runners now, at least. Where'd the other ones go? Oh, they're just sitting up here. You're on channel 1. You're on channel 1. You're on channel 1. Well, okay. Let's see. What can I do? Can I... What are you doing? What are you doing? I said you can't, and you're still doing it. You're still going all the way up there and doing that thing. That's not what I want. You're doing this wrong. I bet the reason why is because this isn't on channel 1. We need these on channel 1. At least for a little while. You're already on channel 1. And you're on channel 1. Now you're on channel 1. All right. There we go. And you're on channel 4, aren't you? Yeah. I don't know why this one isn't working either. It's fine. It's frustrating, but it's fine. Ah, we now no longer need any of this. This is empty. I guess that's the other reason why it happened. Okay. This, actually, I no longer want at all. So I'm going to put its store register to each one of these. Oh. Okay, so now it should get emptied, hopefully. We'll put it on channel 4 just to be sure. And those runners will now have stuff to do. Although they're still not delivering the crystal chunks. This is asking for it. Oh, it's not asking for any. I don't know why. Maybe I didn't set it up properly before. There. Get crystal chunks. Always get crystal chunks. Okay. Is this going to get in the crystal chunks now? No. I do it wrong twice? No. Did it right. Now what's the problem? Okay, there we go. Now they're going to get those crystal chunks. Perfect. Okay. In the meantime, let's see what we can do up here. I want to add in foundation. Let's just make a little platform for ourselves right here. Awesome. Okay. Now, the other thing that we want to do here is we want to set up a transportation network. So we're going to do here, we're going to set some storage. And we're going to need some miners. So I'm going to go down. We're going to need new miners. I'm going to get, I think, 3 of them. I do not know what I was trying to make, but it's okay. I want these to mine silica sand. And I want them to store... Oh, I can't move. Let's see here. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, so I want these miners to mine silica sand. And I want them to store this. Okay. Oh, I think 3 will probably be enough. Okay, so there is my storage block, and then the other storage block I want to have all the way down here. And we're going to use, I guess, I'm just going to use this area. It's a little, ooh, actually, I can put it here. Or over here. No, I'm going to put it right here. This ought to be fine. All right, so I'm going to have another storage block, and this storage block I'm going to put here. That looks good. We'll put it here. Okay, this storage block is going to have shared storage. And actually, I don't even need it to have shared storage. This one's going to be on, let's see here. Where's my logistics network? We want it on channel 4. This is our basic production lines, so it's all channel 4. It can do supply, and I can do request. I don't think we're going to use that. And let's see here. The thing that I want to do is I want to lock all the slots to silica. Okay. And I want this runner. We're going to use this transport route. You specify where you want it to transport from using the go register and where you want it to go to using the store register. And then all that this guy is going to do, all this little dude's going to do is go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's it. It's going to be all super nice that way. I love how this engineer is just still trucking over here. I don't want you over here. I want you over here. Don't do that. That store block was why dude was keeping it topped up. You do not want that, though. Now because we don't have any of these running anymore, it's just all totally bonkers. Okay. Now, do we have a runner all the way up there? Do we have, where's our little dudes? Our miners, we need mining the silica sand. Go and do it. And then we'll just have one little factory over here making use of it. Put that. I don't want to like clog up too much, so we'll put it right here. And we're gonna have it fabricating silica rods. So, and we're gonna have a storage block. And actually, this one I want to be shared storage. You know what? Blueprint time. We have a storage mark 1. We're gonna misclick and click whatever that thing was. All right. We have a storage mark 1. We're gonna go here and we're going to duplicate. You are now shared. Shared storage mark 1. Mwahaha. Done. Storage block. Boom. Not what I wanted to do. I want you on channel 4. I'm not sure if there's a way that we can control the logistics network config. That would be really cool. If I could make it so that there was a way to set the config on it. I also don't... What happened? Did I not... Oh, I didn't use... I made my shared storage, but I didn't use my shared storage. Okay, there we go. Boom. Actually. Boom. We're going to abort you. And I want to make you on channel 4. Why? Actually. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking when I set this up. I don't want that. I do want this. But I don't want this here. I want this here. And you, I want here. And this one, I want to have a shared storage module. And I'm going to just deconstruct you. And we're going to take the sand and... Oh, we can't move it yet. There we go. Now it won't be able, this won't be able to deliver anything yet, but what we can do is copy, paste, and you are only item transporters. Not quite perfect, but not bad either. Just also make sure that we'll have a 5 wide road, since these apparently don't want to follow the road, and instead they're perfectly happy to go whichever way they need. What's this runner doing here? These are on channel 1. We want them on channel 4. And they can supply. In fact, we can even make it so they deliver. That might even be better. So they'll just drop stuff off right over there. I, in fact, prefer that. There we go. They're just going to drop their stuff off. And then if for some reason it wanted to go to the tree, that's fine. I think these orders actually we can probably get rid of, because they should just now deliver when they're ready. Back to it. All right, so we've done a pretty good job of things. We have our new production line set up. This one will drain over time. We've already done that with the metal bars, which is cool. And in fact, what we can do to make sure that these drain, we'll set these as high priority, just to make sure they get used first. Okay, so we have that now done, and over time we'll be able to clean this up and get rid of it. We have our new production line over here. We have a transport route, which is pretty cool. That's set up, and we should, once this gets enough that it will produce more. I don't know why it isn't producing more now. This wants the silica sand. It's on channel 4. Is this on channel 4? Yes. This on channel 4? No, it's on channel 1. Okay, there we go. This will now produce us our silicon bars, and that's going to be really good, because next time we're going to want to start unlocking technology and building more stuff. And let's see here. And we did some scouting. We did a little bit of scouting. We found a whole bunch of neat stuff, which, again, next time we're going to get more into building units. Hopefully we'll find something to fight, too. We have found a few bug holes, but there are no bugs. So maybe if we shoot them, things will come out. We'll have to get a unit with a cannon on it and just wander around and start shooting stuff. See how that goes. Thank you so much for joining in. Have a great one.